But we are, I'll remind you, what I do is I have thousands and thousands of insurance agent or financial planners across the country.
Right.
And you came into Raleigh in 2012 and spoke to a couple thousand of them.
Right.
So what I ask them to do is keep this coin in their pocket to remind themselves that the only thing they should be doing is working on what they want and how to get it, and not waste time with video games or things that take them down, but only things that apply to this coin. What do I want and how do I get it? Being married, what do I want with my wife? How do I get it? With my children, what do I want? How do I get it? With my business, what do I want? How do I get it? So I want to tell you thank you, and thousands of our people are thinking of you and thinking of this book, because I'll sell, a couple thousand of these coins a year, or give them away. I give them to only my special friends. So that was my big thing. I want to let you know that.
That's interesting, because I just had a sort of an hour business call with a gentleman, and we were going over this question. I talk about idealization, is if your life or your work was perfect, what would it look like and how would it be different from today? And so I was talking about exactly that just before I came in here to speak to you. That's my favorite subject. I learned just a couple of weeks ago that book is now in 51 languages.
Wow.
It's the most, one of the most successful books I've ever produced. But 51 languages is a pretty hard record to beat. And I agree with you. I think the goals are everything. So that's what that whole subject is what we've been talking about today with my different clients in different cities. And so here you are. Knowledge is so important. To be really focused on exactly what it is you want and how to get it is really great. So when you think about that, by the way, it's a very positive title. You're not going to have too many people say, I'm not interested in the top.
How do you argue with getting rich your way?
Your own way, getting rich your own way.
It reminds me of this title. I mean, how do you argue with that? How to get everything you ever wanted faster than you ever thought possible?
It's wonderful, isn't it?
How do you argue with that? What a title. Is that you, or did your book people twist that around on you?
Actually, I've written 100% of every book, including the titles, including the paragraphs, including the subtitles. You know what sells a book? It's the subtitle. You can write almost anything as a title, but it's the subtitle that really sort of triggers the desire for the book. My best-selling book in the world is on time management. I'm now, not to brag, but I'm now the best-selling author in the world on time management. I've written 5 books on time management. One of them is called Eat That Frog. Eat That Frog. And I discussed a book with my editor, publisher, 12 years ago. And he said, do you have something that might be popular to a large audience? And I said, well, my book title is Double Your Income, Double Your Time Off. And he said, well, that's a good title. I like the title, but it just kind of lays there. He said, is there any way we could write it? I said, well, take a look at it. I sent it to him. He called me back and he said, chapter 15 there's 21 chapters in each of these books. Chapter 15 is Eat That Frog. And it says if the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is you eat a live frog, you'll have the pleasure of knowing that's probably the worst thing that's going to happen to you all day long. And the live frog is your most important task, the one that you're most likely to procrastinate on, and the one that if you start it and complete it is going to have the greatest positive effect on your life. So what we'll do is we'll just call it Eat That Frog. We'll explain what the title means in the opening to the book, and then every single chapter shows you how to get focused and to work and complete your most important task. And so we released the book. We thought it would sell 10,000 copies. It sold maybe 10 million. all over the world because
I've purchased a few thousand of those.
So you helped me out there, but it is quite amazing how many people have changed their lives profoundly. How many companies have bought copies of that book for everybody in the company? It's great because it really helps people and they enjoy it and they just keep remembering it. And so they ask, "What's your frog today? What's your frog today?" And people joke and they laugh about it and they say, "Well, there's one frog I've got to eat before I can finish for the day." And so it's really helpful. And the book, just all over the world, every language, people have taken the book and kind of stolen it and use it. And anyway, so that's something. A subtitle is really good. And what I'll do is,
it's like my goal of stomping out poverty. I know from the Bible it's impossible, but
yes.
I can stomp it out with everybody that's close to me. I go, all right, if we all work together, we don't have to be poor.
Right.
And of course, poor in America is funny. You got a wonderful single wide trailer with hot and cold running water and a television. I don't know. That's not bad. That's not bad. If I've been to Zimbabwe and South Africa. I've seen, their poor is a different poor than we got.
Yes, absolutely. I've been to those places as well. The only thing that I care about is that people get rewarded for their contribution. So all my life, I've been helping people to increase the value of their contribution. Because if you increase the value of your contribution, people will respect you more. We always respect people based on their making a contribution to our company and our family and everything else. And I've seen that all over the world. As you meet a person who's working hard to do a good job, and you just think highly of them, and that's all that matters. The problem is, if you want to get it into a discussion, but the main thing is this, and I think I'm going to probably spend the rest of my career writing and speaking on it, is that a lot of people want to have rewards without working. And that's been the big problem forever, is they want riches without working. They want riches just for coming in late and leaving early and wasting their time. And that's not possible. I think it read in the Bible somewhere, it has never been and can never be that you can have something for nothing. I wrote a book, by the way. You should read this book. It's called Something for Nothing. And I wrote it 12 years ago. And it's based on 40 years of research into economics, history, politics, psychology, everything. It all comes into it. It's got 12 chapters. And it explains you cannot have something for nothing. It's not possible. Things do not fall up, they fall down. And that your job is to organize your life so that you can make a really valuable contribution. And the reason for that is that the more of a contribution you make, the more people admire and respect you and like you and want to be around you. And the higher is your self-esteem. You feel more valuable and important. You feel good about yourself and your life. So it's a great payback, is just make yourself valuable, do a good job, help other people out. And everybody I meet, and this is one of the things about America, in America you could start with nothing and just do a good job and everything opens up for you. It's just wonderful. So you and I think the same way.